Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Living with Amen. Today we are here to continue our episodic series that we started on PCOS and thyroid and how I tackled my PCOS journey. So today we're going to episode number 2, which is going to talk about how our relationships are affected and the changes I made for a healthy lifestyle, and consistency and moderation is key. So let's start. After I uploaded my previous video, I got a lot of messages from a lot of you saying that you are going through a similar journey, you don't know how to tackle it, or a lot of appreciation messages came as well, thanking me to talk about a subject that is not very easily spoken about, especially a personal journey. So I appreciate all of you and I will share as much as I can what has helped me. But again, what works for me might not work for you. So please, please, please do your own research, meet a professional, and don't get diagnosis and proper treatment, because I said I discovered myself what works for me, but yes, I did check with doctors and I did get a go ahead, and that is how I did my journey as well. So please, 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 what works for me may not work for you. You need to see what works for you. Okay. So last time we spoke about depression, how PCOS affects our lifestyle, our everyday day-to-day, how fatigue takes over no matter what we do, how the weight gain never stops, things just keep on piling up. Today let's touch on something that's very sensitive. How does PCOS affect your personal relationships? If you're married, between you and your spouse, how your family understands it, whether they accept it or not, or whether they even realize the weight of it all and how heavy PCOS can get on you. So, coming to personal relationships, look, it is very hard to explain men the hormonal fluctuations that we go through, because for them life is black and white. If you give them a story that, look, my hormones change and this happens, my estrogen levels and my progesterone levels, that is all Greek language to them and they're not going to understand that. Personally, I used to do that. Because when I was trying to explain my husband, he kind of was with me and couldn't understand what was happening with me. So what I would do is I would get videos online, if I come across PCOS during my research, and I would forward these videos to him in the hope that maybe what I cannot explain, the videos might be able to explain him better than what I could. To an extent, he understood. And then there are times whereby he couldn't understand that why every day you are tired, why every day it's like, a battle for you to do things, And again, I had to re-explain him that it's not me, it's my body working against me. So, like I said, for men, everything is black and white. It's like there has to be a treatment, there has to be a medicine for it that can treat you. You can't forever stay like that. So, it takes a very big toll on your personal relationship. Family around you, sometimes they don't understand what you are going through. Like for me, I had a lot of heat, hot flushes. I couldn't take heat, even like wherever I would feel hot. And then what happens is your anxiety levels increase, the heat makes you go wild. Sometimes you're talking and your reactions are based on how your body feels. So for me, it was like my body was on fire. So I wouldn't be able to go to places that were hot. I would have to look for fan or AC or sit somewhere which was cool, because my body was burning from inside with the heat. As it is, I'm a very warm person, which means my body retains a lot of heat. And with PCOS, it just increased threefold. I let go of all my clothes that I couldn't wear because of the heat. I would see people wearing clothes and I'm like, I can't, most clothes and everything. I switched to plain basic cotton clothes because I couldn't take the heat. My body was, I wish I could make you guys understand how much fire was coming from within my body. So that was all built up because my body was not getting what it required. So it was just haywire. So sometimes because of the heat, because of the place you are in and environment you are in, your reactions are a result of what your body is feeling. So sometimes probably you're talking too loud, sometimes probably you don't want to hear anybody, sometimes because of your anxiety levels you're probably talking too much, you're talking too loud, you're hyperventilating, and family around you must wonder, like, what's wrong with her, like, can she speak a little slowly, why is she acting like this? But it's not that we want to act like that, it's our body that is causing us to be like that. You see, like I told you guys, I wouldn't be able to survive if my husband switched off the fan or the AC 2 minutes before we were to leave the house. If he was switching, I'd be like, why are you doing that? Because automatically I feel the heat. My family, my parents, my brother, obviously they care about you. So during that period, I was having a lot of ice cold water because the heat that my body was facing. And my dad, my mom, my brother be like, please don't drink ice cold waters. They are not good for you in the long term. And I'd be like, you guys need to understand my body is going through fire. It's not that I want to, but I have to. My body is going through fire. It took them a while to understand what my body is going through, why sometimes I hyperventilate. Like if it's too hot a place, I would avoid going to places that are too hot. I would tell my husband, I can't sit here, I can't do. My whole wardrobe changed. I would literally look for clothes that are like soft, breathable clothes. I couldn't wear, even if it is an extra layer of thickness, I wouldn't be able to do it. That's how bad my situation was. So if you combine all these factors, right? How many people are you going to explain what you're going through? In the end, you just have to do what you have to do. And this brings me to my topic of changes for healthy lifestyle. Okay, so healthy lifestyle changes don't have to be extreme. For me, it all came down to one thing, that's moderation and consistency. Remember, consistency is key. Don't do everything overnight. Start small, things that you can be consistent with, things that you can actually do. Don't do overnight big changes. I made small intentional swaps. So, firstly, I started assessing the environment around me. What am I doing which is right and what am I doing which is wrong? 4 years now, we all love our non-stick utensils, don't we? So easy, doesn't stick food, food cooks perfectly and everything, but this is where we go wrong. Aluminum non-stick pans release a lot of toxicity. So first, I cut down on non-stick. I didn't stop, I cut down. I still use non-stick, but not as much as I used to before. I switched to steel and aluminum, cooking pots. After that, I came to how I was storing food. So as technology evolves, life evolves, we get so used to, we were introduced to disposables. How convenient, right? So everywhere was like plastic and disposable containers and so many. Look, I still keep disposable containers. Those go in the freezer with cold food or whatever that is. But for personal storage of food, my kids' food, I switch to glass. You can switch to steel, you can switch to glass. Again, these swaps can be done gradually, not overnight, because you have to see the cost attached to it as well. Glass is not cheap. So I gradually built my stack of glass containers. I switched to good quality glass containers for myself, so our food in the fridge as well is stored in glass containers. Similarly for my kids, I try doing stainless steel tiffin boxes. Their food also is stored in glass containers in the fridge. But kids are kids. They see plastic character water bottles, they get gifted plastic character water bottles, and the next thing you know, they want it. Even though I still try steel water bottles, steel containers, but they're kids. They will take a while. So I let them be, but I try to reduce the usage of it. So at home, I give them tumblers. They don't drink water in plastic water bottles and all that. My water is stored in glass bottles or stainless steel. I don't know if you guys have seen me. I roam around with my own water bottle. You might see a Stanley, you might see a tumbler, you might see a glass water bottle, but I do not leave my house without my water bottle. That is like a no negotiation item for me. Even if I'm just going for a round at night, I carry my water bottle with me. I have reduced my reliance on plastic water bottles. See, you don't know where these plastic water bottles go. You feel like, "Ah, it's okay. We're going to mosque, we'll get a plastic water bottle. We're going here out, we'll get a plastic water bottle." Those water, you don't know how they are being stored. So many times we see outside shops, they're lying outside shops. And the heat, with the heat, from the time they come out from the factory to the time they go to the shop, the storage require the storage what do you say, the storage parameters change. It goes from extreme heat to cold, again to extreme heat. So that thing goes through a lot. And then in plastic water bottles, all those toxins that release with the heat, it's not good for our bodies. Right now a lot of things come that are not good for our bodies, because nothing is as pure as it used to be in our grandparents and parents' time. Now things have a lot of preservatives, they have a lot of chemicals inside. So I would suggest you guys as well, for you and your kids, avoid plastic water bottles, plastic containers as much as you can. Because number one, apart from PCOS, apart from whatever, your health, these are toxins that you're consuming every day. So try to reduce toxins in your house. Okay, number 3, we always ate dinner early anyway, but we changed the way we ate our dinner. Starting meals with fiber, salads first, and that alone changed how much we ate and how we felt. So now what happens is we eat early, we don't eat full stomach, we eat salads first. Okay, look, you don't have to love salad. You can even do just carrots and cucumbers. If you don't like those, you can do tomatoes, whatever works for you. But start with that first, protein, and then carbs. That is how your plate should start. And you will see by the time you get to carbs, you are actually full and you're not going to finish your portion of carbs. So, we didn't cut our carbs. We still have our fries, we still have our rice, and we still have our proteins, but in moderation. We just learned that moderation is key. And now, honestly, our bodies are so used to early dinners that even if you're invited for a wedding, and usually it's a wedding, right? Dinners are served at 10, 10:30, 11. We honestly cannot eat a full plate. Our portions have reduced this much. And this helps. Why? Because digestion. Having early dinners, have a walk, your food is digested, that leads to better sleep as well, which is very important for PCOS. So if you start gradually changing your eating habits, the timing of food that you eat, the foods that you eat, you will notice the change in yourself, your moods, your fatigue levels, and how overall you feel about yourself. Okay, question is, do we indulge? Of course, if we crave something sweet, we have it, but not every day. We even have sweets at home. We get chocolates gifted. We don't buy unless we are really craving a specific chocolate. We will buy. We do not say like, no, we're not going to have sweets. No. If you deprive your body of the stuff that it needs, you will end up binge eating and crushing everything. So you don't want that to happen to you. So if you're craving something, have in moderation. We would eat just a little, but we don't binge eat on sweets anymore. Same for soda. Long back, I used to be a soda person, and then I stopped drinking soda. I still barely drink. If we go out to restaurants, my drink would always be soda water, and that even I wouldn't finish a bottle. I would always share it with somebody. So those are intentional swaps that I've made. If I feel like having a soft drink that is of sugar, I would take a sip from my husband and that's it. And that would fill my cup. I wouldn't want anything more. We are human beings. Sometimes we crave. It's okay. But try to reduce. Our morning teas are without sugar. That is something you can swap. Something you can change. It's not easy. You might feel the tea is bitter, but it's good. Sugar is not good for our bodies. A little is fine, but we have to be in moderation. And then I also started looking into natural ways to support hormonal balance. Things like green tea, adding seeds into our diet. Nothing extreme, just small additions. Because at the end of the day, a little goes a long way. Remember that. And like I said, small changes. Okay. In the end, I would also say, apart from metformin, I included vitamins in my diet. But before you start any vitamins, get your vitamin levels checked with the doctor before you start any vitamins, and get advice from your doctor on what vitamins you can eat and what you can't eat. So vitamins like vitamin D, magnesium, calcium, and zinc, and omega-3. These are all the vitamins that I eat right now for my PCOS and my thyroid. But please do not start before consulting a doctor, because if your vitamin levels are already okay, you might be overdosing on vitamins. It is better to get checked with the doctor. Also, what other soap did I make? Screen time. Yes, we are so dependent on technology. We are so dependent on our phones that if we get a notification, we are hell-bent on opening the notification right away. We will not keep our phone away to hold on for that notification. And that, my friends, is hurting us. The amount of time we spend on this, the amount of time we use this, and the amount of time we take care that our phones are never on charge, never out of charge. First things first, I was a person who would want her phone charged 100% all the time. So at night, even if my phone is at 50%, 60%, I would keep it on charge overnight. And obviously, we all keep our phones near our bedside. So charging comes on the bedside as well. What we don't realize is the rays that these phones emit, the rays that the electricity emits for this is not good for our hormones. We might not realize right now, but this is what is affecting us as well. So now, first things first, I don't charge my phone overnight anymore. Even if my phone has 20%, I do not charge it. I do not want any electromagnet rays near me when I'm sleeping, or my kids. So first things first, I stop charging my phone overnight. My husband always has charge on his phone. He doesn't charge his phone at night either, but his phone always has charge. So if my phone is dead and anybody's looking for me in emergency, they can always get through my husband and come to me. Secondly, no screen time before bed. Half an hour, 40 minutes before bed, no screen time. Because what we don't realize is before sleeping, when we start scrolling TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, we don't realize and we end up spending an hour or two, which again is not good for our brain. It's not good for PCOS and our overall health as well. So we need to try to cut down screen time before sleeping. It affects our sleep, because if you are on your phone, you're going to spend an hour that you did not want, and now it will force you, not force you, but now you realize you're unable to sleep because your brain is overstimulated. So I try, look, it's not easy. I said small changes, gradually. Do not do it overnight, okay? I started slowly. It was very hard to let it go, because like I said, we all are addicted to this device. We are slaves of the phone. We have to reverse that. So, no screen time before sleeping. And trust me, it helped a lot in improving my sleep quality, because now I have nothing to look forward to. There are times if my hormones are messed up or I'm not feeling too good, I end up sitting on the phone for an hour before I go sleep. And trust me, I wake up messed up, because now my whole sleep cycle is gone. My mind is messed up, overstimulated, too much of information, too many things, too unnecessary things. And next thing you know, I'm messed up. I wake up messed up. Honestly, when you wake up, again, do not take this the first thing. We have a habit. I had the habit. First thing I wake up is my phone. Messages, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I stopped. I wake up. I do what is necessary for me first, important things first. And then when I am fully awake, not when I'm half sleepy, when I'm fully awake is when I will use my phone. Sometimes you are tempted when we get notifications on our phone. We need to reply, we need to reply. No. Set timings for yourself. After a certain time, I'm not going to reply. Unless, of course, it's family, it's important, but things that can wait should wait. This is very important. Our screen, the amount of time we spend on screen is very, very important. It does affect our hormones. I think now we have come to the end of the vlog. I don't want to make it too long, but I will just say that PCOS does not restrict your lifestyle. It's about creating a lifestyle your body can actually live with. So do changes that your body can live with. Do not crash. Do not go extreme. Stop eating everything with the thought that no, I need to get better. No. Small, gradual changes, and you will see how it's going to help you. Like I said, cut down on sugars and all that. And in the previous blog, as I said, consistency is key. And once you start, you will see the beauty yourself. In today's era, a lot of food has preservatives. We just need to choose what works for our body and what works against our body. And this is not only for us adults. I'm telling you, even for your kids. If you have girls, you have boys, the food that we consume, all this sugary stuff, lollipops and soda and this box stuff and everything that has colors, it is not good because they actually interfere with your hormones. If you have girls especially, I have girls. If you have girls especially, no perfume stuff. At least try to avoid as much as you can. There are natural soaps you can use, natural body, if your girls are older and growing, natural body oils you can use. Avoid anything that's extreme on fragrances. I don't even put perfume on my girls. They tell me, Mama, we want to put perfume. I said, not now. Okay, I buy for them non-scented, body this thing, but that's the max I would do. No, my kids don't know what soda is. My kids don't know what chocolates are. My kids don't know what all these candies and lollipops. Educate. Do not restrict, educate. Look, my Haneen does not have a sweet tooth and she's not interested. So she wouldn't have a chocolate, she wouldn't have a candy, she wouldn't have lollipop, no soda, nothing. My Elena has a naturally sweet tooth. So what do I do with that? We do give her sugary stuff, but only as and when needed. We do not offer soda. She knows adults drink soda when we go outside or we are at somebody's house. She knows adults drink soda. Kids are not allowed soda. Your teeth will get spoiled. Over sugars in kids, they make them hyper. You won't realize the effects right now. As they grow up, you will see how it alters their body chemistry altogether. So with Elena, if you're having a birthday, cake is allowed. But if the cake has too many colors, bright red, blue, green, that's a no-go for icing because that is full of color and preservatives. Similarly, she knows we don't eat lollipop. So even if she gets a lollipop now, she brings home for me and she tells me, Mommy, you said we are not allowed to eat lollipop. It's not good for us, for our teeth. It has too much color and all that. So they know what they are allowed and what they are not allowed. I give her fresh juice whenever I make fresh juice. She loves her fresh juices. She loves her fruits, natural fruits. Okay, if we're in a sitting, if we're all eating chocolate, she gets a piece or two and that's about it. They know their limits. They know where to draw the line. Educate. Do not stop. Educate them. Kids of this generation are different. You can't just tell them, no, you can't have that. You have to give them a reasoning, and that's how you are going to protect your children growing up, because the way our lifestyle is right now, the amount of junk we eat, the amount of processed food we eat is going to shape our kids' bodies and our kids' lifestyle growing up. And you won't realize right now Every third person has PCOS. The moment they start menstruating, the moment they start becoming an adult, the next thing you know, PCOS has hit them. High rates of PCOS. And this is the way we can prevent them. Junk food, hormonal imbalances through pregnancies. Sometimes we feel like, no, we need to give them something nice. Be careful of what goes inside your bodies and your kids' bodies. We come to the end of the episode. Keep an eye for episode number 3. Thank you. Bye.